Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Matt Latter and today we're going to continue the Pillars of Eternity Let's Play series. So, in the last episode we've managed to go into Brackenbury Sanatorium and had our first indirect meeting with Theos, the apparent big bad of the game. So, I saved us a loading screen by already going to Copper Lane. I do want to go down to the catacombs and deal with the necromancer guy back here. We could have gotten his grimoire, but the other guy said it wasn't there. Not sure I trust him fully on that matter, but he is quite right that the guy down here is basically quite evil, and we should take care of him in the most direct manner possible. So let's see if we can re-murder him, because I'd surely approve of that. Though I do hope we can still save the spirit of whoever it was down here. So let's go in and say hello. We do a quick save. Did you find my grimoire? Mojo told me about the experiments. I can't let your research continue. Eder lets out a bubbling hiss of frustration. You're even more self-righteous than he is. If it were left to people like Modred, animancy would be little more than sorting Engwithen pottery. We'd be stuck in time as those hut dwellers. He gestures at the table in front of him. Everyone wants immortality, but nobody wants to know what it costs. A tremor passes through him. He clutches at his stomach. Costs indeed. There's a purpose yet that you can serve. Hey man, you're gonna get fucked. You get marked. You get that in the face. And we try to knock him down.
Ready, watcher.
And he's down. That went really freaking quick. For being such a renowned legendary necromancer, he didn't really have much. A fine scepter, we can pocket that. The grimoire can be given to, what's her name again? Or wizard. Let's leave it at that. A soul ward amulet. Oh. This brilliant bloodstone amulet has a strange aura about it. As you hold the gem, you think you hear a woman's voice. Yeah. A soul prowls within the bloodstone like a caged stalgare. It's filled with a fierce, restless energy. Who are you? You see an image in your mind of a woman in heavy leather armor bearing twin daggers. Next to her is a man, young and handsome, who calls her Rowena. The vision shifts to a windswept plain next to a lake. 50 men and women in matching leathers lay dead, their bodies contorted and deformed by some sinister sorcery. Rowena falls amongst them, her body collapsing next to the young man you saw earlier. She's too weak to speak, but the name Dalton appears in your mind. A lone figure strides across the battlefield, barely bothering to step over the corpses. His eyes are filled with an unnatural light and fixated on Rowena. He reaches out to her, and what little life remains in her body departs. When he takes the amulet from around her neck, you feel her anguished soul trapped within. With a final contemptuous glance at the fallen Dalton, the man departs. Dalton sent me to find you. The soul pulses with warmth. It fills your mind with memories of a young man who's both bold and generous. But fury and despair gnaw those images away until all you can feel are cold crimson walls pressing against you and something loathsome feeding off of you as years fade into decades. What do you want? You see an image of the amulet shattering and the soul inside rising and dissipating among the stars. Okay. I think we shall oblige.
I'll take a look.
So that was a quick resolution to that. So let's move out and go to Dalton. Come on guys, run faster. If I could add one feature, it would be to exit area immediately. If you had cleared the way, that is. That would be a welcome addition, to say the least. But hey, we found her. That's so we can free her proper. I think he was up here, wasn't he? Yes, there he is. Good man.
Good day to you.
Did you find her? We show him the amulet, yes, but not as you expected. The old man studies the amulet. Rowena used to wear this. Where did you get it? From Helig, whose kept her soul trapped inside it for decade. It's time to set her free. Dalton's eyes widen in horror. No, please. After searching for her for so long, he gazes at the amulet. Just to have her close to me, to visit her in my dreams, that would be enough. Yeah, this is our answer. This isn't your choice. Rowena wants to be released, and I'll honor her wishes. The bloodstone shatters, and as essence departs from the gem, a wail escapes Dalton's lips. He falls to his knees, scooping up the broken fragments and sobbing. A moderate negative, but seriously, I don't care. This was the right choice. Man, I really need to clean up my inventory. We've collected some more taxes, that is good. How's the construction coming along? 13 more hours. We can live with that. Okay, so let's check what else is there to do at the moment. The Blade and the Parable of Whale, all outside. Actually, I think it's time to visit the Ducal Palace. We've been here everywhere, right? Pretty much. So let's go to the First Fires again. It's probably the only place we haven't been to in the city as of yet. So yeah, let's go there. There's also the hearing on animancy. We may be able to chime in with that there. But it's also the time for Eder's side quest, so to speak. The Fragments of a Scattered Fate. Find out more about his brother, what happened to him perhaps. Sidley, let's talk to her right away.
Welcome.
The young woman wears a simple but well-tailored uniform. She watches the comings and goings around her with quiet attention. Any news to share? Or are you just here to see the Ducal Palace? Who are you? I'm a page here at the palace. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duke and his advisors. The pay's not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics. Okay, so what's the Ducal Palace? It's the seat of government here in Defiance Bay. This is where Duke Admeth Hadred declared freedom from Ederan rule some 150 years ago. She lowers her voice and grins. It's also a hotbed of regional politics. Trust me, the gossip here beats what you'll find in any tavern or brothel in the city. Multiply that by 10 and it would be just like the Republic's. So what goes on in here? She laughs. Where to start? We've got meetings, public hearings, and ceremonies, and that's just the stuff that happens out in the open. She leans a little closer. This is where the Duke and his key advisors work, so there's always someone bartering for a favor. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to ask to talk about this side of things. But if you want the official version, she clears her throat and gestures counterclockwise around the palace. We have a shrine devoted to Magran, official records, and the chambers for public hearings and the council meetings. Shrine of Magran. It's a symbol of Magran's protection of Defiance Bay. She's represented the revolutionary spirit of the Dewwood ever since independence, and her involvement in creating the Godheim bomb only affirmed her importance to us. She scratches her neck. That's also where the first of the sacred fires burn, but Firga, the tranquil ardent, has had troubles keeping them lit. The sacred fires, huh? Okay, what kinds of records are stored there? Mostly dull official stuff. Consensus counts, tax records, militia registers. Now I keep my distance. I got curious one day and got drafted into reshelving half of the records. She yawns. Worst day of my life. Any hearing going on right now? Sure is. Duke Ava's been meeting with some of the city leaders for weeks now, trying to figure out how to address the legacy. The whole business is terribly secret though. I tried to sit in the gallery during my lunch break one day and got turned away. She sniffs. But a lot of the talk concerns animancy, so there's good reason they're keeping the meetings behind closed doors. Why is animancy so controversial? She laughs. Where to begin? Traditionalists think it's a crime against the gods. There's no question that poking in a soul is risky, but the more progressive elements believe it's our only shot at restoring healthy births. And it doesn't help matters that animancy research often involves the old Ingwithan relics that were illegally looted from ruins in Erglenfarth. She makes a quick twitching motion with her index and middle fingers. What do you think about animancy? Me? I think the real danger of animancy is confusing a real scholar with an expensive fake. We get a new case here every day. Some poor couple in the Gift or Copper Lane who spent every copper they had on a miracle cure for their unborn child. It never works. She shakes her head. Breaks your heart, but there's usually nothing we can do for them. I see. Anyway, the legacy is what the politicians have all been whispering about lately. Tell me about the current duke. That would be Eivor Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you though. Our dukes have been elected since independence. Some find Duke Eivor rather coarse. He is a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiant Spain needs. Thanks for the info. Okay, so let's go to the shrine. A stone figure of a warrior gazes towards her raised hand. It's empty, but the palm and fingers are blackened. Let's talk to her.
Greetings.
The woman's head is bowed and her lips move in prayer. Just as you approach, you catch her glimpsing at the statue near her. She notices you and forces a smile. Praise be to Magron, and welcome to her temple. How may I be of service? You seem upset. What's wrong? Her shoulders slump. It's about the fires, isn't it? She puts her hand on your shoulder. They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in them. The fires? She sighs. The sacred pyres all around town. You must have seen the statues of the goddess around the city, holding up empty braziers. I've kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but I haven't been able to conjure them for months now. And people need to see them more than ever these days. What does that mean? It's my devotions and prayers that keep them lit, but lately, when I try to pray, all I can think about are the hollowborn all over the city, the grieving families, the refugees. She shakes her head. How could Magron allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? Burns grunts with disdain. What strength do we gain from adversity, from trial and test? The fires don't wither because she lacks in faith, they wither because she does not understand how to be faithful to a whore. A whore wants neither praise nor devotion. A whore wants to be compensated for her services, and Magron is paid and pleasured in sweat and struggle and pain. This mewling imbecile is unworthy of Magron's womanly heart. Take heart and don't abandon your faith too easily. She nods hopefully, her hands clasped together. You're right, and, fortunately, I believe Magron's been speaking to me again. She casts a quick glance in your direction. There are some things you can know without quite understanding them. If I'm not mistaken, you seem to know what I mean. Lately I've been seeing visions, a place in the wilderness with pools filled with sunbursts of color, strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens even when they splash into the earth. She raised her hands as if framing an image of her vision, and behind the falls is a cave, filled with fire and heat and danger, and some token of my goddess. I know there's something there, but where it is or how I'd get there, she shakes her head. I've been meaning to ask around at the expedition hall to see if anyone recognized the description. To be honest, though, I don't know what I'd do if I found the place. Worthless, like so many of Magron's flock, afraid of her god's tests. If Magron speaks to her, it is to hasten an end to a hypocrite's life, and this vision is surely a death trap for the weak. Okay, tell me more about the temple. Magron is the most revered goddess among us dear Woodens, so it's no surprise that her temple is part of the ducal palace. Her fire symbolizes trials, revolutions, and the blazing of new paths, all of which are important to us. She gestures to the statue. This is the first of the sacred pyres. When it is lit, so are the rest around the city. Something else? So what's the significance of the pyres? They symbolize Megan's power and guidance, and right now, the people of Defiance Bay need to be assured of her presence. She crossed her arms, staring at the statue. Our neighbors in the Valiant Republic see us as superstitious, but we're just sensitive to the signs and warnings of the gods. Okay. Someone at Expedition Hall might know. Okay, so we have a new place to look for. What's in here? Nothing of great interest. Only people with official invitations are allowed to observe the Animancy hearings. Okay. And up here... a records keeper. Nothing we can take. Let's save.
Welcome.
A taciturn man with graying hair poses over a tome he's just withdrawn from one of the shelves. He glances up at you with baggy eyes. Yes, is there something I can pull for you? I'm looking for militia records from the time of the Saints' War, trying to find out what happened to someone. The man clears his throat. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. Seems there are still quite a number of folk in Deerwood who bear ill will towards Redcrans. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many came here to settle as refugees. Oh, we have enough positive. For the first time, he turns his full attention towards you and his eyes flicker in recognition. Of course, that policy is for the general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. He looks up at the shelf and withdraws a thick volume, shifting a layer of dust aside with his hand. The rosters are in the front, the inventories of the dead in the back. He passes it into Eder's outstretched hands. Eder leaves through the book for some time anxiously, running his thick farmhand's fingers over page after page of names. At last his hand stops, his fingers just below one name.
Woden Talej, died 18 Majavernho 2808. Third Battle of Cleaban Relog. Blazing Glonfather names, I swear. Rayet Saris?
He stops short, his eyes bulging. They scan back and forth over and over.
I'll be the effigy. He fought for Rayet Saris. Why'd he fight for Rayet Saris?
I don't know. Neither do I, but he had to have a good reason. That's just who he was.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clea, the one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw. And who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. I mean, worth trying, right?
I'll help you in any way I can.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
Well, that's one step closer in that direction already. So, where does this lead then? Throne room or something like that? Would certainly be the best possibility. Oh, okay, or just outside again. That's also fine. Okay, so we wanted to go to the Explorer's Hall and ask around for that strange place the priest mentioned. Maybe they do know something. I mean, they've had a lot of expeditions out there. Though from her description, it's a really
Don't bother the caddy
weird
too
place.
much. You'd have better odds against a Stelgar.
The fox doesn't learn, apparently. He has to be told again and again and again. Up we go. And inside. I also have to decide if I want to go with the Crucible Knights or the Dozens. I mean, House Dominal is definitely not a possibility, because I really don't like them. Okay, let's talk to Wenan. What else do you need? Do you know of a place in the wilderness with colorful pools and waterfalls that rise? You're looking for Staring Falls. Well, that was easy. He taps the map in front of him with a blunt finger. Fantastic place. The thermal springs alone are worth the journey. Falls are so hot, most of the water turns to steam. That's the rising we were talking about. Okay. Man, that was really easy. Hey, Osric. He's got... I'm looking for work.
You want an expedition? Talk to Wennen.
Yeah, okay. So, out we go again. And then let's actually look a bit into our quests again. I think we're actually kind of done for now in Defiance Bay, at least that's how it seems. So the Hermit, we have to return when we've had some stuff done. Through Death's Gate. Right. White Mud we don't care about right now. Centers of Faith. Travel to the cave, okay. Trade agreement with Twin Elms. We still have the 2-story job, right. That's involvement with the Dominals, I'm pretty sure about it by now, AD. The Long Hunt is Sagani. And most of the rest is endless paths and side quests for
You
the
work
companions.
for the Dukes of the Valian Republics, huh?
Ah, for as long as they will allow.
Must be nice always knowing who you're supposed to serve.
Well, there are 5 of them, but even so, knowing who is easier than knowing how.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this episode right now here. In the next episode, we're probably gonna leave Defiance Bay for a little while. And yeah, on that note, I do thank you all for watching and hope you've had some fun. Consider commenting, liking, or subscribing, or following me on Twitter at _MattLedger for all the news updates. Feel free to hit me up if you've got any comment. And then, yeah, thanks again for watching. Hope to see you the next time.